Are you ready? Yes, please welcome to the stage. Oh, that was a bit. Oh, wow. Please welcome to the stage, Daniel Benoniel!
Thank you. That was fantastic. Hello, is everyone all right? Good, I'm exhausted. That's not a joke, that's just true. I'm exhausted. About 12 weeks ago, my wife and I had a baby. Which is, thank you very much. I say we, I didn't do a huge amount of the legwork on the production. But it's pretty, production is the wrong word. But it's been lovely. It's been such a wonderful thing to experience. It's really special, and it's sort of made me reevaluate my life and think about who I want to be and think I want to improve myself. I want to be a better person. I want to be a wiser person. I want to be a kinder person. It sort of made me think all the things I thought when our first child was born, and the middle one. But this time, I am 90% certain I'm going to absolutely nail this issue. There's a few things I think I should sort of work on specifically. That's what I'm going to try this time. I'm going to work at being better at little things. Like, for example, I don't feel sad when certain people die. Which isn't. I should explain. I mean specifically people who are stunt pilots at air shows, because you're just showing off, right? That's not. It's sad, but it's not so sad because why are you? Do you know? Basically, do you know? You know when you go to a funeral and you go to one of those big out of town cemeteries and there's sort of there. It's like a conveyor belt. Yeah. And thank you. Been to a lot of funerals. But you go into one funeral, there's another funeral coming out, and I just picture the scene where there's a funeral coming out, and people meet, and they go, "Oh, condolences. How did your friend die?" And people say, "Well, he was a fireman, and there was a fire at an orphanage, and." Yeah, but we all said we couldn't do it, and he ran in there and he saved all those children, and yes, he died. But look at these kids who've come along today, and they're gonna try and live the best lives they can in his memory. It's pretty magical, isn't it? How did your friend die? We was doing a loop the loop of a Western Supermare. Fucked it up. I feel the same way about Arctic explorers. Just go, like, have a cold bath and a walk. You just weird perversion. So that's something I need to improve. I'm not a dreadful person. I'm not awful. I'm not like a mass murderer or a London dog owner. But dog owners in London are the worst. So it's like, I like dogs. I really love dogs. I had dogs when I was growing up. But if you live in London and own a dog, what you've done is to look around a vast, overpopulated and, frankly, smelly city and go, you know what this place needs? More carnivore shit. Because I hate dog shit so much. It's really upsetting. Whenever I see dog shit, I hear the phrase in my head, well, actually, we chose not to have children. So, but it's the worst. Dog shit is the worst. There are plenty of shits I don't mind. I had a pub lunch the other day outside at a table that was entirely covered in bird shit. I barely noticed. I was saying to my wife, isn't this place authentic? It's so real. Horse shit I find frankly charming. I think, you know, when you walk down a road, you see a police horse and it craps in the street. It sort of takes me back to a childhood I don't think I even had. It's really, I think it's the noise. I think it's that, it's that lovely, it's really heartwarming. You know what I mean? It's lovely. It's very, very special. Anyway, so I've got 3 kids, which is why I'm delighted to be here tonight. And no, really, I genuinely don't give a shit how this gig goes. You boo, you can throw stuff, you can walk out, I don't mind. unless it goes incredibly badly, I'm unlikely to end up being responsible for the disposal of your feces. I'm pretty much having a better night than I would otherwise have had. So I'm aware that I've done a lot of poo-based stuff this evening. Sorry about that. I'm sure you understand why. One thing that happens when you have a baby is people give you advice, and one of the bits of advice people have given me this time around is make sure you have a bath with the baby. Do make sure you have a lovely bath with the baby. It'll be very bonding for you and the baby to have a bath together. Very bonding. Let me tell you something. There is nothing whatsoever bonding about standing wet, naked and cold, dripping with water while cutting another human being's shit out of your own pubes. Thank you very much indeed. Good night.